curious if you can record 2 tracks at the same time inside BandLab? By the end of this 9-minute video, you're going to know all the steps needed to get there to record multi-track style just like this. Let's get into it. Here's a big question that may come up. Is there a way to record 2 tracks at the same time in BandLab? Say like a mic and a guitar? And the simple answer is a resounding yes. Yes, you can. This is where the multi-track recording function comes in. And if you have an acceptable audio interface, you are good to go. Let's go ahead and go through all the steps to get to where we need to be. So the first thing, let's grab our interface and plug everything in. We're going to connect our interface using the USB cable straight to our PC. Then we're going to go ahead and set up our mics. So for our mic cord, we got a XLR to XLR. Connect one end to your microphone and then the other end into an XLR input, on my case, the Scarlett or whatever interface you happen to have. And I will be plugging this into channel 1. There will be a link in the description below if you need to pick one up. They are super, super great. Next, and in my case here, I'm just going to be running a second mic to the guitar and record it that way. So we will just be repeating that same process. Now, if your guitar is wired for electric, or if you have an acoustic and you have a pickup, you could also just plug direct with a 1/4-inch cable. Now that we have our equipment plugged in, wired for sound, let's jump over to BandLab and get all of our settings correct so that the software can speak with the interface. So here we are. We're on our home screen. We're just going to start creating. New project. All right, let's just start adding. In this example, we're going to do a vocal. There's our vocal track. We're going to add track. We're going to add a guitar. So there we go, 1 and 2. There are 2 different ways to click the multi-track function on. First, we can go up to the menu bar here in the left upper corner. Click on that. Click Settings. And then we're going to come over here and come down to Enable Multi-Track Recording. Simple as that. We can also go on to the track itself. So in order to do that, we go to the track, we click the 3 dots. We have the drop-down menu. Here it says Disable Multi-Track Recording, but that's only because we just lit it up there in the menu. This would originally say Enable Multi-Track Recording. Click on that and you are in the same place. So just 2 different avenues to get to the exact same place here. Once you have this enabled, it will be confirmed by this little red dot that we see right here. Now, when this is lit up, that is just to let you know that now this track is armed, meaning that that track is ready to record. You will also notice that the other tracks, or in this case, the other track, does have the armed circle, but it is blacked out. On any of the tracks that you're looking to record, hit that black dot to change it over to red. And now both tracks are armed and activated. That way, when you come up here to hit the record button in the top middle of your screen, the tracks with the armed red dot will record at the same time. Let's jump in real quick here and just take a listen at a vocal and guitar with the multi-track function activated.
I got my ticket for the long way round to buy a whiskey for the way, and I sure would like some sweet company, baby. And I'm leaving tomorrow. Now what do you say when I'm gone? When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere, Lord. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
All right, so that was just a fun little example. We did add just a few, let's see, we had analog warmth and a distance on the guitar. Just threw those on there last minute just for this quick little example. I would have to do a lot more tweaking to get it to where I would personally love it and like it a lot, but that's just a quick example of how you can record multi-track at the same time there with your two little red dots lit up, armed, and ready to rock. So there are a few extra steps that I want to make sure we go over. So let's get back into that and we'll go from there. Now, we will also need to select our input device and input channels for both tracks. You will notice when I click on the vocal track over here that we come down to input and it does list channel 1. And if I click my guitar track, it lists it as channel 2. And this is great because this is exactly how we plugged everything into our interface. Now you can also record both your vocals and the guitar on the same track. And this is done by clicking on input channel and selecting 1 and 2 together, just like this. So let's go up to vocal. We'll come down here to channel, select channel 1 and 2. Guitar, select channel 1 and 2. Now when you record, everything will be on that same track because you selected the input of those channels. It's also good to mention that these tracks are 100% customizable. They are on their own separate channels. So if you want a different sound for, say, your vocal, you can add any effect, EQ, reverb, and the same goes for your guitar track, compression, etc. So play around there and settle on what sounds best to you. But big note here. So if that's when they are on separate channels, if you do have your tracks linked together on channels 1 and 2, like we just talked about, any effects that you do add will also be linked together. So there's no separation there. Generally, I always think it's a bit better to have the two separate tracks for a little bit better control and sound editing. But really it's, whatever you're working with and what you're really going for. One last thing I'd like to add here, if you are not hearing any of your audio coming through on your headphones, and it's like when you're wanting to either listen back or listen live as you're playing, remember to set your interface as your PC's audio device. And for that, all you need to do is head down to your settings. You're going to go to System, and then you're going to hit Sound. Under Output here, you're going to select your interface. In our case, it's Focusrite or Scarlett. So we would click that. And then you would like to come down here to Input. And you're also going to select Analog 1 and 2, Focusrite, which is the Scarlett. Now you can close the settings window. And you should be able to hear your PC's audio through your interface. And now you are so ready to go. As always, thank you all so much for spending a little time here with me today, learning and growing. If you feel you're getting value here, like and subscribe for much, much more that's coming on the way. You are so appreciated. Check the links below for BandLab membership discounts, starter guide PDFs, and a lot more there. Cheers to you guys. More importantly, cheers to your music and much love.